I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We need each other because every someone needs someone else.
We need each other because when we work together, we can do so much more.
We connect more children with what they need to grow up healthy, educated, and safe. And that's what Child Fund is all about.
Because when you make someone's world better, you make everyone's world better.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
Learn more at childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Sit back in your old rocking chair. You need not worry, you need not care. You can't go anywhere.
You're listening to Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is 93 WIBC, Saturday Night on The Circle. And I'm your bespectacled curmudgeon, Ethan Hatcher. That's producer Gavin, back in the producer's fishbowl. Beep, 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 pushing the buttons and doing the things to make the show function. We got a lot to get into tonight, but for now, I'm still processing the Fox News top of the hour update. Did you catch that, producer Gavin, where they were talking about and the Pima County Sheriff announcing, please do not help in the search for Nancy Guthrie. We've got this covered. We are the law enforcement officials. You are not private investigators. You are not the investigation team. And anything that you can or do to involve yourself in this investigation may, in fact, thwart our efforts to discover her. Do people really need to be told?
Yeah, I've been seeing that everywhere. Like even outside of that, I was just,
Jeez.
I think just at work the other day. On top of that, like one of my bosses was talking about like someone at some place got in trouble for using company time to like try to investigate on their computer at work.
Yeah, look, I mean, I understand that people are interested in this story, and I don't want to seem ghoulish, but we're all on the same page by now. I mean, we're almost 2 weeks in, or a little over 2 weeks in, actually almost 3 weeks in, because I think she was kidnapped at the beginning of February, so that'd be about 3 weeks in now. She gone. When they find her, that's going to be a recovery
Unfortunately,
operation.
that's the case with stuff like this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't catch up to a kidnapping victim inside the first, 48 hours on average?
They usually say it's 48 hours and then they're presumed dead until found.
Yeah. And I feel terrible for the Guthrie family. That is a awful situation to fall victim to. I hope they're able to get some amount of closure. For that matter, I hope they're able to find Nancy alive and well. But she is an elderly woman. She has health problems, significant health problems, including a pacemaker, including a regimen of medication that she is required to take. She's unlikely to be getting that care, if any, from the kidnapper. She's gone, in my opinion. So, yeah, if you are somehow thinking that you're going to be, Batman or The Question or some superhero that swoops in to save the day, don't. Leave it to the law enforcement officers. They are trained in these matters. They will handle it. And they will put themselves, oftentimes, in jeopardy. Something that, unfortunately, came true this week in Beech Grove when the brave Officer Brian Elliott, who was sworn in just 2 years ago on September 3rd, 2024, unfortunately lost his life in the line of duty, swooping in to save somebody who needed help and unfortunately was shot by the suspect on the scene, as reported by Wish TV 8. Oops, where's my sound? Swooping in to save somebody who needed help.
Regardless of the shape of the badge, the stitching on the patch, or the color of the uniform, law enforcement as a whole mourns. We're hurting tonight. We're devastated.
That's the IMPD Assistant Chief reacting to the death of Beech Grove police officer Brian Elliott. He was killed in the line of duty. State police say a suspect shot him and injured another officer in Beech Grove. The second officer is now stable and the suspect is in custody.
Let's get right to News 8's Aaron Gutierrez. The search for the suspect led to a massive manhunt.
That's right, and later police would go on to identify that gunman and suspect as 47-year-old Kenneth Johnson. They found them in a laundry room of an apartment complex nearby the original shooting scene. The two officers were originally responding to a domestic violence call at the Beach Meadow apartment complex on Diplomat Court near Beech Grove High School just after 5:30 yesterday evening. They found them in a laundry room of an apartment complex nearby the original shooting scene.
Something is still feeding back into my audio, producer Gavin.
A domestic violence
Maybe we're just going to have to turn off
complex on Diplomat
the host PC
near Beech Grove High School just after 5:30 yesterday.
In between sound bites. Yeah, that's fixed it for now. Don't know what the issue there is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
That's a fun networking problem. Always with the behind the scenes problems here at the new WIBC studios on East Joseph Street in Indianapolis. Just love that. Lovely, wonderful. I don't know why my audio is feeding back into me, but that's a thing. Anyway, suffice to say, we have new details on the death of Brian Elliott. Officers were responding to a domestic disturbance. They heard a man threatening to kill a woman before knocking on the apartment door. The woman inside was heard yelling, "Help me," and "Please come in." When Officer Elliott kicked the door open, investigators say he was shot immediately from inside the apartment. There was nothing that body armor could do to protect him in this case, unfortunately, because he was shot in the head. He was shot in the face, which is terrible. The other officer was shot in the leg, and it was the wounded officer who returned fire and helped carry Elliott down the stairs. And according to court documents, they show officers had responded to the apartment complex several times earlier that day before the violence unfolded. And that's a key detail because according to the reports, the alleged shooter had an extensive criminal history, which should surprise nobody. The 47-year-old man accused of shooting two officers on Monday had a criminal history spanning 3 decades, according to multiple reports and findings from WRTV6. Let's pot the PC up again.
Kenneth Johnson is now 47 years old. We found criminal records dating back 30 years. In 1996, records show he was convicted in Milwaukee for carrying a concealed weapon and sentenced to 30 days in jail with 2 years probation. He was arrested later that year for possession of THC and intent to distribute, but the prosecutor declined to file charges. Fast forward to 2008 in Manatee County, Florida. He was arrested for domestic battery after police say Johnson grabbed his wife's throat and pushed her against a counter. The prosecutor declined to file charges. In 2011, police in Manatee County, Florida arrested Johnson for carrying a loaded gun without a permit. He told police he bought it at a gun show. He was sentenced to jail time already served and had to forfeit the firearm. Later that year, he was arrested in Florida for drug possession with intent to sell, but the prosecutor declined to file charges. And in 2018, Johnson was arrested in Milwaukee County for maintaining a drug trafficking place, but there's no record of prosecution.
He's guilty! You can see it on his smug little face! Guilty! I say guilty! Guilty! No!
Hey, by the way, producer Gavin, I fixed the audio feedback issue that was coming from my PC. That's what was creating the feedback. Fun
Womp
times.
womp.
Yeah, womp, womp, womp. But we got it taken care of now. Angela Ganote had reported that the Hendricks County Sheriff Department released details. I'm sorry. So yeah. Anyway, the officer was doing his job, doing his best. He lost his life in the course of duty, and that's ultimately what law enforcement officers do. They are the people who run towards the danger every single time. They are the people who they have an enormous sense of service to the community to be able to do that and risk their lives every single day. And unfortunately, this is the third officer in Beech Grove history now to sacrifice his life in the line of duty. Also this week, of course, we had a illegal immigrant driver who smashed into a Chevy Silverado, or a Chevy pickup truck, I should say. I'm not sure it was a Silverado, that was being driven by a 64-year-old man by the name of Terry Schultz. This is a pattern, unfortunately, that we've seen, a larger national pattern of illegals being able to obtain CDLs, resulting in casualties across multiple states. This can be partially blamed on Ronald Reagan, dating back to the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act of 1986. This is something that was brought to my attention by one of our listeners, Claudia, who has actually spent time at the Department of Motor Vehicles and has processed requests, including non-domiciled CDLs, which is the issue. The CMVSA, the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act, created an exemption for non-domiciled CDLs, allowing states to issue them to foreign domiciled individuals, those not residing in the United States, from jurisdiction without the equivalent CDL standards to those in the United States, providing that they meet federal requirements. It was intended for temporary CMV operators, such as non-residents without requiring proof of U.S. domicile. And over time, the federal regulations implementing the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act expanded to permit issuance based on proof of lawful presence in the United States, such as unexpired employment authorization documents issued by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or an unexpired foreign passport with an approved Form I-94 documenting recent U.S. admittance. The framework indirectly has played a role in allowing illegal aliens to obtain CDLs through misuse or loose interpretation. While the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act and its regulations required proof of lawful presence, non-domiciled CDLs became a pathway for non-citizens with temporary statuses such as DACA recipients, asylees, refugees, or others with EADs who might not qualify for regular domiciled CDLs. So this is governed by federal regulations that unfortunately have paved this pathway that all states are required to follow. Part of the reason why this individual was able to obtain a CDL in the deep red state of Indiana. It's all regulated federally, unfortunately, and this is the long-term effect of a policy that was initially instituted by Ronald Reagan. And unfortunately, this isn't even the first time this month that an illegal alien has killed Hoosier citizens in the state. Earlier on February 3rd, we had an individual who was from Kyrgyzstan that killed 4 people on the highway in a head-on crash. And this was reported by Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt.
Tragically killed and lost their 4 Americans were tragically killed and lost their lives this week yet again from an illegal alien, an individual who was paroled into the country by the Biden administration using the CBP-1 app, which they created like it was a magic pass for Disneyland. That's not how immigration in this country should work. And this illegal alien from Kyrgyzstan was traveling on an Indiana highway and he failed to brake for a slowed semi-truck in front of him. He swerved into the lane and he crashed into a van carrying 15 passengers, and 4 people were killed in that crash. This is another tragedy that could have been prevented if not for the wide open borders from the previous administration. That's why we now have a secure border. That's why this administration will continue to deport illegal aliens from our country.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
What do you mean you've seen this? It's brand new.
Yeah, well, I saw it on a rerun.
It's a rerun.
So
You'll find out.
Until we patch the federal framework, which allows for these CDLs to be granted to non-domiciled individuals, we're going to keep seeing repeat instances of this incident. Did I do a good job, Claudia? Did I get the details right? I know you've been agitated with other hosts who weren't able to provide proper context, but we do strive for excellence here on Saturday night on The Circle, even when we suffer from technical difficulties like we did earlier in the segment. But it's fixed now. So stay tuned to 93 WIBC Saturday night on The Circle, and we're going to tell you how teachers' unions and teachers more broadly are preying on your students and putting them in real danger, using them as props to push their political ideology. More explained coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Great Lakes Honda of Fishers is heating things up with red hot deals during Pay What We Pay invoice pricing going on now. Come into Great Lakes Honda and get invoice pricing without the gimmicks, like a new Honda Odyssey EXL for under $42,000 with a finance special of 3.99% APR for 48 months or 4.99% APR for 60 months. So come in out of the cold for red hot prices at Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Tax not included. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends March 31st. See dealer for details.
Openings like this don't last. Vasey is hiring now for experienced commercial kitchen and refrigeration technicians. Vasey is offering top pay, real work-life balance, and full benefits, including paid holidays, paid vacation, paid travel time, and paid training. If you've been waiting for the right move, this is it. The new year is already moving. Don't miss your window. Call 317-873-2512 today. That's 317-873-2512. Or apply now at Vasey.com. VASEY.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
If debt has become a part of your story, maybe it's time for a new chapter. Connect with NFCC. We match you with trusted nonprofit credit counseling services to provide you a path to financial freedom. We're your sidekick that can make you feel like the main character in your story again. No judgment, no pressure. Just the advice you need on your terms. Visit nfcc.org/yourside or call 833-837-7698 to get started. NFCC, on your side, by your side.
When I was younger, I may have did some stupid things, even committed some crimes, but I am not a criminal.
I work for youth advocate programs, yeah. I was Tamani's advocate, helping him stay out of jail, stay in the neighborhood, and get a job.
As a little kid, I experienced trauma and I acted out. Made some mistakes, but I'm not a mistake.
As Jalen's YAP advocate, I'm always here for her.
YAP is a community-based alternative to youth incarceration and neighborhood violence. Youth advocate programs. Learn how at yapinc.org.
Dugan Air Heating and Cooling is always committed to premium service and no shenanigans.
Go DuganAir.com. Dugan Air Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at GotYour6.org.
Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Is it right where you are? Now the people change.
This is Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to 93 WIBC, Saturday Night on the Circle with producer Gavin in the fishbowl and me, your bespectacled curmudgeon before the microphone. And this segment, I wanted to talk about what you guys have been hearing now for weeks with these reports of student walkouts across the country, many of them taking place conveniently during school hours on or adjacent to school property. And for a variety of reasons, this has been inadvisable. And now we are learning the phrase FAFO. You're familiar with that phrase, producer Gavin. Mess around and find out that not mess, but we got to be FCC friendly here. Unfortunately, this has resulted in a student in Palm Beach area. The Palm Beach Lakes High School in West Palm Beach was struck by a vehicle during one of these ill-advised student protests.
A student participating in a walkout at Palm Beach Lakes High School was hit by a car along North Military Trail. That child was rushed to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
And as tensions flared up, separate protest sites across our area, cameras capturing two people here, a man and a woman, appears to be maybe a student, struggling with police as officers tried to control the growing crowds.
Would you look at that?
I'll put that
just
on.
look at that.
I can't pull it out either. I'd have to drill it.
Would you just look at it?
Yeah, it's sad. It's the only mark.
I mean, just look at it.
Yeah.
Is anybody surprised that this was going to happen? You're sending kids who already, have undeveloped frontal cortexes. They don't have the capacity for advanced or refined thinking, and you are using them as political pawns to push your social ideology and, of course, putting them in danger by taking them off of school grounds during school hours, marching close to traffic, and now somebody's gotten hit by a car. This isn't the only municipality that we've seen where kids have been acting irresponsibly. There was footage caught in Asheville, North Carolina of kids during an ice out protest at the high school there in the North Carolina area. The AC Reynolds High School was conducting an ice out, and these kids are running across 4 lanes of traffic in one of the busiest intersections in the United States. Cars are honking at them, cars are driving, and these kids are running. I mean, it almost looked like a scene out of the movie Weapons. Did you see that movie, producer Gavin? Great movie if you haven't checked it out, by the way.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like they were being possessed by that witch, all running across the road just that way they could scream ice out. And here was some of the footage from that incident. These kids also in danger. Running across traffic. Not at a crosswalk, not at a stoplight, just running across the road.
I'm on my land. We're both in America, which used to be a good country, until they started letting people like you do whatever you want.
So when you are putting your children in public school, you are entrusting those officials who have both a social and a legal obligation to protect your children while on school property during school hours. But instead of being concerned with their well-being, they are using those children as weapons, as a bludgeoning force for an emotional plea, an emotional outcry to push their political agenda on society. And this is sick. This is sick. This is the way that teachers are manipulating the conversation, manipulating students, and using them as tools while endangering their safety. So a student in Florida was hit, students in Asheville, North Carolina, running across lanes of traffic, and a student in a suburb of Illinois in Dundee Middle School, an 11-year-old, a 6th grader, was totally left behind during school hours during one of these ice walkouts. Now, who in their right mind is going to let 6th graders, 11-year-olds, these kids are barely pubescent, most of them prepubescent, and let them run into traffic? Now, in this case, this was a kid, the 11-year-old with special needs that was left behind during this protest, got 0 notification from the school about this.
11-year-old Richard Harley says he doesn't want to go back to class after he was found wandering, scared and alone, miles away from school grounds following a student-led walkout protesting ICE.
They're supposed to stay on 72, like by the school, but they did the exact opposite. It went just way more farther, and no one even knew like how far they were going.
So you kind of got.
I was like the last one, so I was like all alone.
The incident happened Tuesday morning at Dundee Middle School in the far northwest suburb where the 6th grader is a student. His mother says she was not notified about the walkout, and because her son has special needs and an individualized education program, or IEP, takes issue with him being allowed to leave campus without supervision or parental authorization.
Why didn't I get a notification that he was tardy or absent, for that matter? Why didn't they even bother calling in?
Blaisdell says her son didn't understand what the walkout was about and merely went along with the other students when they went outside. She says the protest turned dangerous for Richard when he couldn't keep up with the other kids who were marching along Main Street and Route 72 Higgins Road. Blaisdell said her son called her in a panic.
He said, you just need to come pick me up. I don't know what's going on. I'm very scared.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Not only should the students be disciplined for leaving the school during school hours, but more pertinently, the teachers who encourage this behavior need to be absolutely disciplined for letting children leave school grounds. And you see how this kind of incident escalates itself because this is a gaggle of kids that have undeveloped, cognitive abilities being let loose on society. Well, they're supposed to stay close to the school. Well, guys, they didn't stay close to the school. In fact, they wandered relatively far away. This 11-year-old ended up a couple miles away from the school, scared and alone. The school didn't know, or if they did know, they tried to keep it a secret. They tried to keep it under wraps, and that is even more damning. These kids are pawns for these liberals. They don't care about their well-being. They just care about the messaging. And while they are supporting this kind of behavior, they are reporting you if your kids attend Turning Point USA events on the campus. Now, Turning Point USA is leading schools leading children off campuses. They are responsibly being overseen by counselors, by school representatives, and still some of these liberals are reporting your kids who go to these conservative events to Child Protective Services, not for the ICE walkouts, for attending these events, which are operating on school grounds. And that's what they're reporting to Child Protective Services. Listen to this woman.
Good evening. I'm going to go off script here and say congratulations, Dr. Newsom. And in the announcement of your position, it was said, we hope you will be more inclusive. I agree. I would like the anti-racism statement returned. In December of 2025, Turning Point USA hosted an event marketed to high school students with food and beverages advertised as an incentive for attendance. While community building opportunities for students are important, this event raises serious concerns related to student safety, parental rights, and governance oversight. Event materials indicated that adults, including parents and legal guardians, were not permitted to attend and that supervision would be provided by unnamed volunteers. Excluding parents and guardians from a student-focused event creates a lack of transparency and undermines established best practices for youth safety. School-affiliated or school-adjacent activities should adhere to clear supervision standards, background check requirements, and defined accountability structures. Students are widely recognized as vulnerable population. They are in critical developmental stages and especially susceptible to influence. For this reason, safeguarding measures, parental involvement, and transparency are essential. All Board of Education members in this room are mandated reporters under state law, as I am. Based on the circumstances surrounding this event, a report was made to Child Protective Services.
You serious?
Are you kidding me? A report to CBS was made because these kids were attending a conservative-oriented Turning Point USA event that was supervised on school grounds. Now, do you think she would be so fastidious and detail-oriented when it came to student protests and ICE walkouts during school hours that were unsupervised, like the one that took place in Dundee Middle School that resulted in an 11-year-old getting left behind and lost, scared and alone, miles from school? Do you think that she would have cared or raised one single bit of concern about that student protest that happened in Florida in the Palm Beach area where the student was struck while wandering into traffic during this ICE protest? No, she doesn't give a damn. These liberals don't give a damn about your kids. They're using them as pawns. And you can hear this echoed by the Florida Teachers Union that says that it is not only imperative for these students to participate in anti-American ICE protests, but they are required to do so. They are pushing your kids to do this. Listen to this sick BS.
Florida students are confronted with videos of ICE raids, of families being torn apart, and of Americans being murdered for using their constitutional rights. They respond, they organize, they speak out, and they do what American students have always done in moments of injustice. They stand together and demand safety for their peers, their families, and themselves. And that response, while framed by some politicians as radical, is reasonable, it's rational, and in a moment like this, it is required. To any students being told that they do not have the right to speak out or walk out on their campus, I want to be clear, this is the United States of America. You do not shed your First Amendment rights when you step foot through the schoolhouse.
How about new, you crazy Dutch bastard?
They are manipulating your kids. You heard it from the horse's mouth. It is required in their worldview to push these kids out of school property into the public, to use them as an emotional bludgeon on society at large to push their agenda. That's sick and it needs to stop. Stay tuned to 93 WIBC. The Sound Dump is coming up next.
Only local real estate agent I'd trust with the sale of my home and actually finding me a new one. It's Mark Dietl. And Mark is used to dealing with challenging situations and making them simple and successful. Like Angie in Fairland was handling her mom's estate, needed to sell the home she grew up in. It was emotional, but the Dietl team handled the listing and repairs, secured a buyer, and sold the house after just 9 days on the market, stress-free. Find him at markdietl.com, Dietel.com.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today. Ask about the guarantee. 317-755-4232 or visit markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Trump speaking with Minnesota leaders to try to put an end to the unrest in the state, deploying his border czar Tom Homan to lead ICE operations.
He will be reporting directly to the president. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino had been acting as the Border Patrol lead here, even hosting daily press conferences, really the face of the operation here. But Bovino is now returning to be sector chief in El Centro, California, and other Border Patrol agents are leaving as well.
Fox's Matt Finn, at least 34 people dead after that massive winter storm. It's still bringing bone-chilling temperatures nationwide. Fox Weather's Melanie Black in Boston, where almost 2 feet of snow fell.
And that snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. Our Fox Weather Forecast Center is calling for high temperatures in the 20s and overnight lows in the single digits this week.
America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, what's going on? It's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show. And I'm not going to lie to you. I needed help. I got a bald spot in the back of my head, and it's embarrassing. I see it when I'm on television. I see it when I'm on the YouTube channel. So I decided to reach out for help. And my friends at We Grow Hair Indie decided to help me out here. These guys are the absolute best. I was a little leery about it. I could not have a procedure that, one, hurt, or two, left me looking like I'd been scalped. But after I talked with Darren and the entire team at We Grow Hair Indie, they told me their state-of-the-art technology, the progress made in hair growth, it's going to be okay. If I can do this, you guys can do this. Contact the team at We Grow Hair Indie, 317-522-2995. That's 522-2995. Get that free evaluation. It's free. You can also go online to WeGrowHairIndie.com. Contact them today and do this with me. WeGrowHairIndie.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
And leave tomorrow behind. Would you wave? I believe you can get me through the night.
You're listening to Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIPC.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to don your handy-dandy hazmat suits once again as we wade through the slime and the grime of another week in news, beginning with a clip from 2021 in an Oxford debate where an avowed feminist insisted that whiteness is part of the problem with meat eating. Fast forward to 2026, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez insists that whiteness is just a figment of the imagination, yet both things can't be true at the same time. David Gaddis of D.C. Water rejoices at the evacuation of white leadership at the public utility in advance of one of the largest ecological disasters in U.S. history, as millions of gallons of raw sewage have leaked into the Potomac, and a crybully in Canada got their way and punished a local hair salon owner while reaping disability rewards for a year and a half over a minor inconvenience. You'll hear these stories and more for another edition of The Sound Dump.
I'll take you for a ride. I'm a garbage truck.
It's the Saturday Night Sound Dump on 93 WIPC.
I take you to the dump. I show you the sights, you know you wanna ride. I'm a garbage truck.
This is the one and only Saturday Night on the Circle. I'm your host, Ethan Hatcher, and I want to begin with a replay of a clip from 2021 from feminist Carol Adams, who wants to conflate meat with racism, misogyny, and the politics of whiteness. This was at an Oxford debate, and it was so comical, the audience couldn't help but laughing at this woman as she made a ridiculous clown of herself on stage.
Hamburger comes with a dose of misogyny. The assumption that the best protein comes from corpses is a racist belief. 21st century animal eating requires our complicity in a new colonialism. Our whiteness is part of the problem of meat eating. If you eat animals, you take up more climate space. Meat eating is also one of the ways gender-based structures of oppression are perpetuated. Men in the West are taunted to renew their man card by eating meat because that's what real men do. That's the sexual politics of meat, and it reveals how unsettled masculinity really is. That's why after 9/11, that's why after 9/11, A focus on men as heroes and on meat eating became part of the reclamation of a wounded masculinity. When a black man was elected as U.S. president, we saw how white this wounded masculinity was. White supremacists weaponized it, eating meat, eggs, and dairy. Images of milk-drinking white men, of platters groaning with meat, and the baiting of liberal men as so-called soy boys are all part of the neo-Nazi messaging.
I don't want to sound sexist, but women are an absolute disaster and a menace to society.
I mean, can you imagine putting forth those arguments with any level of sincerity? This woman seems like a parody of herself and evidently didn't get the memo because, according to the current conventions, whiteness doesn't even exist. It's not real. It's just a figment of the imagination, according to brainiacs like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
There's a very big difference between whiteness and national, like your actual culture, right? Whiteness is an imaginary thing. Being German is real. Being Italian is real. Being English. These are rich cultural heritages that are based on values, and they are so much a part of what make our cultures and our societies what they are.
I think I can smell shite. Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Yeah, that smells like a lot of BS to me. I mean, let's just flip the script for a moment and see if it would pass the smell test, as it were, to say that something like blackness is totally imagined or brownness is totally imagined. You see, it doesn't work the same way. They're only trying to eviscerate and obliterate whiteness. That's the real racial politics here that they want to totally ignore. And you see it echoed elsewhere in the country where whiteness is being evacuated, being eviscerated, pushed out, edged out any way and anywhere they can, including in public utilities, where David Gaddis of DC Water was rejoicing that there were fewer white executives who were leading the public utility. It didn't turn out too well for DC Water. We'll start here, though.
You know, when I arrived at DC Water, this was an organization that looked very similar to our industry. It was predominantly, white male at the top. But this is a utility that's more than 70% people of color work at this utility. Mm-hmm. And I really believe, and I still believe, and it has been fantastic. The outcomes have been fantastic. But the people at the top, the executives, the chiefs in that C-suite, they should look like the employees that they serve and that they work with. And the same thing with the community. And so my executive team, looks exactly like the community. It looks like the employees, the staff, be it people of color, women, men, and it's just a fantastic team that has come together to do a lot of great things here at DC Water.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Done a lot of things, like great things for DC Water. Well, let's see if the DEI advancement and elimination of white leadership positions paid off for him. It didn't.
In Washington, it could be one of the largest environmental disasters ever in this country. A massive cleanup is underway after hundreds of millions of gallons of waste spilled into the Potomac. Tom Costello is on the scene.
The river George Washington, called the Nation's River, is tonight off limits and contaminated after a 60-year-old sewage line in Maryland broke open last month, spewing more than 240 million gallons of raw waste into the river. The same river that flows past the Kennedy Center and the Lincoln Memorial and used by boaters, kayakers, high school, and college rowing teams.
So you can see some of the toilet paper and the sewage up on the banks there.
Riverkeeper Dean Nalyokes says the stench and environmental damage are staggering, with E. coli levels more than 10,000 times above EPA quality standards at the time of the spill. While slowly coming down, health experts warn no one should be boating, fishing, or even touching the Potomac.
That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes? That's right. It's the way she goes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes it doesn't. She didn't go. It's the way she goes.
When you remove qualified leaders with experience and replace them with DEI hires that do not have or possess the same qualifications, it will often result in disasters just like DC water, now one of the largest ecological disasters in United States history, and a smelly situation for those living near the Potomac. One more clip I want to play. This is a ridiculous crybaby in Canada who actually succeeded in suing a salon for discrimination because they didn't include non-binary options for their booking website.
In 2023, Alex Frédéric Mignon tried to schedule a haircut at Station 10, a small hair salon that charges by the minute. Alex identifies as non-binary and was disappointed to find that during the booking process, they were still asked to select between a men's or women's cut. They sent an email asking for accommodation and say they were told to just select one or the other.
It is not fair and it's not legal to tell me no. Since you don't fit into my worldview, I don't want to do anything with you, and I don't want you as my customer.
Alexis Lebrec is a co-owner of the salon. He says the policy has nothing to do with ideology. Because the business model is low cost, high volume, they only take bookings online and ask for their customers' gender to help with scheduling.
Typically it takes longer for a woman's haircut than a man's haircut, so we optimize our agendas accordingly. We also get statistics for marketing.
But for Alex, the lack of accommodation had a major impact.
I was already spiraling into a huge mental health crisis, and it precipitated my fall into complete disability. I was unable to work for a year and a half.
Alex filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission, which recommended a $500 settlement. Lebrec refused to pay, so Alex sued for $12,000.
And we fought back because we didn't agree with the prejudice that we might have caused.
Lebrec says a few months after receiving the initial complaint, the salon updated its website to include a gender-neutral booking option. Earlier this month, the courts agreed with the Human Rights Commission and ordered Station 10 to pay $500 in damages.
I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer.
Listen to that petulant child.
It's actually illegal to tell me no.
Well, screw that, and I'm glad we live in the land of the free and not the land of the lunatics that are the Canucks in Canada. Canada ruins everything. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. Stay tuned.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful. It's the least that you can do. What you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's. 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 Puccini's Pizza, pasta, Puccini's.
You're listening to Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to Saturday Night on The Circle. You know, it seems like there's no more quality control. There's no more standards anywhere. The quality of entertainment, of presentation, has totally slipped. So far that I think it's time that we need to bring back the snobs. And I agree with this Facebook philosopher.
We need to bring back snobs. They went, hey, I'm actually really into this thing, and this is actually a really low-quality version of that thing. And people went, be quiet, snob, let people enjoy things. And now, everything is slop. Film snobs said films were getting watered down by an oversaturation of superhero movies and overuse of CGI. And people said, you're being so elitist. And now there are no more movie stars because studios realized it was cheaper to replace them with a CGI bear doing the dab. Boxing purists said boxing wasn't going in a good direction and we didn't listen to them. And now we have Jake Paul boxing Jake from State Farm, sponsored by Palantir. And I know snobs can get out of hand, but at the end of the day, they just want you to have the best version of the thing that they're interested in. Next time you want to go to a restaurant, don't go on Google, just ask a food snob. You're gonna get your ear talked off, but you're also gonna get really good Sri Lankan food.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Millennial humor, millennial writing has ruined so many wonderful things. We don't get good movies anymore, or when we do, they're few and far between. It's really sad. Everything has turned into superhero slop. Some of the things that I love, like Fallout, the series, totally ruined by that Amazon Prime TV show. And I know a lot of people have been fooled into liking it because it shares the aesthetics of the Fallout universe, but it doesn't share the core of the Fallout universe. It doesn't share the heart. And that's the real problem. That's the real travesty here, because it's just lost something, and a lot has been lost. We need to bring back the snobs. Stay tuned to 93 WIBC. Next hour, talking about the Chicago Bears coming to Indiana. Oh no. Oh no.
This is Chuck Lofton, here to talk to you about my friends at Exercise Inc. Exercise Inc. is the 20-minute, once-a-week workout program that will change your life. My wife Mary and I have been clients for 6 years. The program has worked well with my busy schedule. I was getting cardio, but I started the program because I understood the importance of strength training to overall health. It's helped me with managing my blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. The biggest help? My sluggish feeling was replaced with much-needed energy. It's designed to help clients get stronger in a shorter period of time. The studios are private, just you and your coach working to reach your goals. Exercise Inc. has 5 locations: Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now Fishers. So take it from me, Chuck Lofton. Improve the forecast for your health. Go to exerciseinc.com today to request a free consultation.
Are you tired of hearing strange noises coming from your furnace in that one scary room in your basement? Are you losing sleep at night knowing you may wake up with frostbite? Worry no more with a $49 furnace evaluation from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. For just $49, Hope will come give you peace of mind by making sure your furnace is in good shape, keeping the cold air and frostbite outside. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today.
Great Lakes Honda of Fishers is heating things up with red-hot deals during Pay What We Pay invoice pricing going on now. Come into Great Lakes Honda and get invoice pricing without the gimmicks, like a new Honda Odyssey EXL for under $42,000 with a finance special of 3.99% APR for 48 months or 4.99% APR for 60 months. So come in out of the cold for red-hot prices at Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Tax not included. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends March 31st. See dealer for details.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month. Then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
IMI is hiring quality control personnel, plant managers, and sales representatives in the greater Indianapolis area. Learn more at driveimi.com. driveimi.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
From the Dugan Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios, this is 93 WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Fox News, I'm Roger Stern. New York City bracing for its first blizzard in 9 years, starting tomorrow, as a powerful nor'easter moves up the Atlantic coast. New York Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency for tomorrow morning in many counties.
It's time to brace for impact, New Yorkers. 2 days ago, we were expecting a run-of-the-mill, just February storm. Something we're used to handling, very accustomed to. Just a little snow, maybe moderate disruption, really nothing to get too excited about. But over the last 24 hours, this forecast had shifted dramatically.
The Big Apple under a blizzard warning for the first time in nearly a decade. Over 2,200 flights have already been canceled for tomorrow and Monday as the Northeast prepares for widespread power outages thanks to winds up to 70 miles an hour. President Trump boosting tariffs across the world even more, despite a Supreme Court ruling against him. Here's Fox's Jill Nato.
When the Supreme Court ruled the International Emergency Economic Powers Act didn't give President Trump the power to impose tariffs, he went elsewhere. Under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974, he can raise tariffs for a limited time. Late Friday, he imposed a 10% tariff, but Saturday he said he's raising them to 15%. And what about the money already collected under the previous tariffs? On Fox, Republican Senator John Kennedy put a positive spin on it.
If he gives back $300 billion worth of tariff money to the business community in America, this economy's going to roar, man.
California Governor Gavin Newsom wants refunds for American businesses and families. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
And America is listening to Fox News.
History isn't just in textbooks. It's the story of us, the United States. 2026 marks 250 years of America. And throughout the year, Bill Hemmer takes listeners on a journey through the 250 most impactful moments in American history. From the spark of revolution to the battles for freedom, the ideas, inventions, and decisions that changed the world. The 250 most impactful moments in American history podcast. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, everyone. It's Candace Cameron Bure.
Hey, everyone. It's Phil Sims.
It's Dolores Catania.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kix Brooks.
It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Rob Paulson.
I'm Ryan Serhant.
Hey, everyone. I'm Nicole Palizzi.
Hey, everybody. It's Kevin Nealon.
What's up, guys? It's Nia Sue, and it's time to take the quiz.
5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending this hour. Thankfully, no injuries or deaths reported following the EF2 tornado that hit the western part of Bloomington on Thursday. Christina Yamamoto and her son told Wish TV they're just glad they still have each other.
Because we always have each other.
We're healthy and we're alive. And
yes.
Nothing happened to us or the animals.
Nobody's hurt.
Cleanup efforts continue in the city. Multiple houses and other buildings had damage to their roofs. Colder temperatures are sticking around central Indiana for a few more days. Meteorologist Chad Swain with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says winter elements could follow.
With that cold air is going to be some snow chances, mainly northeast of Indianapolis, where areas toward Muncie could get closer to an inch of snow.
After Thursday night's storms in central and south central Indiana, the temperature has been staying below 40. Swain said that will start to change on Tuesday, with temps climbing back above that mark and into the 50s. Multiple fire crews battling a large blaze Saturday morning at a VA hospital in Marion. No injuries have been reported. And a bill to strengthen Indiana's ban on sanctuary policies is close to reaching Indiana Governor Mike Braun. Attorney General Todd Rokita is backing the piece of legislation.
Indiana is about to be a model for the nation in helping our federal law enforcement partners remove illegal aliens.
Senate Bill 76 would require local law enforcement agencies to honor ICE detainer requests and bar cities, schools, and colleges from limiting immigration enforcement allowed under state or federal law. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Now here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect a below normal day for Saturday temperature-wise, with highs only in the lower 40s under partly sunny skies. We'll have the chance for some scattered snow showers at times on Sunday and potentially into Monday as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Indy Humane. Find your new best friend today. Visit indyhumane.org.
This is Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Hour 2 of the show. Hour 1 blew by so quickly. If you missed a moment of the program, make sure to catch the podcasts uploaded to WIBC.com, as well as my personal podcasting page, Saturday Night on the Circle.fireside.fm. And for the podcast, we will make sure to fix the issues in the first 2 clips of this hour. In case you missed it, we had a brief technical error. It's all fixed now, though. And this hour, I wanted to start talking about how the Indiana State Legislature is willing to bend over backwards for these billionaire sportsball owners while they do nothing to alleviate you and your problems. In fact, when you asked for property tax relief, they came back and turned out their pockets and said there's just no money to be had. But now they've advanced a bill out of committee that would commit millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars potentially in economic improvements to Hammond, including road infrastructure, utility infrastructure, etc., to facilitate the construction of a Bears facility. Mind you, they're already not taking care of the roads elsewhere in the state, but they're going to build this road complex to appease the Bears, to appease these sportsball owners. This really pissed me off, but now we are one step closer to the reality of the Chicago Bears now being the Hammond Bears or the Indiana Bears. Get a load of this reporting from Wish TV 8.
Well, there is now a shared commitment between the Chicago Bears and Indiana leaders to bring the Bears to the Hoosier State. The House Ways and Means Committee unanimously approved changes to a bill which would cover the financing and development of the new stadium for the Bears in Hammond, Indiana. House Speaker Todd Huston said the Bears will be willing to commit $2 billion to the project. The state would cover costs through a new sports authority and local taxes, similar to the agreement to build Lucas Oil Stadium.
We're going to make a Bearsville right outside of this stadium. It's going to be a whole
whole separate city within the city of Hammond, and I think it's going to be absolutely transformational for my city. It's going to bring a couple thousand jobs permanent. It's going to bring tens of thousands of jobs, construction, ancillary development, investment into the city. I think it's going to be completely transformational for Hammond.
The legislation to pay for the stadium will go on to the General Assembly. The Bears said in a statement it's committed to finishing the remaining site-specific necessary due diligence to support our vision to build a world-class stadium in Hammond.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So they're moving heaven and earth to make this possible. You heard, according to the report, that it passed out of committee with a 100% unanimous vote. So this is a bipartisan fletching of the Indiana taxpayer to reward these sportsball owners and get yet another stadium here in Indiana. And you know, the second that we move the stadium from Chicago to Hammond, the Colts are going to be looking at that shiny new stadium and say, well, don't you know, our 2012 Lucas Oil Stadium, it's getting a bit long in the tooth now. It's, God, it's almost 15 years old. That's ancient in stadium terms. We need some serious upgrades, if not a brand new stadium. We're still paying off the Hoosier Dome. The Hoosier Dome doesn't even exist anymore. It was demolished a long time ago. Still paying for it. Still paying for the Lucas Oil Stadium, rewarding the billionaire, now family members of the former owner of the Colts who passed away. And now we're enticing yet another NFL team into our state. This is ridiculous. It is uncalled for. And we're also rewarding Democrat Mayor Tim McDermott up there in Hammond. The Republicans happy to reward this Democrat in the state with cushy giveaways, and he's thrilled. And they are trying. Oh, and then also the lieutenant governor, you know, I thought he said that he was against corporate welfare. Have you heard any statement from the Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith about this? And no, he's going along to get along. He's fine with the shellacking of the Hoosier people, because at the end of the day, Micah Beckwith was always power hungry. That was his only draw, and he is living up to that. Abdul Shabazz says, however, that no general fund tax dollars are going to be paid for the proposed stadium. It is said to be covered by project-generated revenue like tickets, concessions, parking, naming rights, or events, dedicated taxes that are tied to the stadium district, punishing residents who happen to live nearby. Money generated there stays there. Bond financing backed by those revenues, not the state's general fund yet. And private investment from the team and related development. If anybody believes that, I've got a bridge to sell you, because that ain't going to happen. How many times have we seen the state make these multi-billion-dollar commitments, and then it's the taxpayers that ultimately have to pay through the nose to make it happen? So they might be promising for revenues from the Bears and from the stadium to cover this, but it hasn't happened for Lucas Oil Stadium, and I doubt it's going to happen in Hammond either. In fact, the only ancillary benefit that we might see from this is ticking off Governor Pritzker and, of course, the failed DEI hire mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, who says that the Chicago Bears need to stay local.
Is my face straight? Okay. All right, I keep a straight face here. The Bears belong in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Bears belong in the city of Chicago, right? And I've said repeatedly that the door is always open for conversations, Kevin Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect, and I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is clearly speaking for itself.
Well, it sucks to be you. Turns out when you run a crime-ridden hellhole, not even sportsball owners like the Bears want to stay there. And McDonald's also threatening to leave too. Well, bad decision-making sometimes catches up with you. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. Coming up next, we're going to talk with a candidate for Hamilton County Superior Court Judge in Court 8, Danica Eiler, and talk about her qualifications running in the upcoming primary and general election. Stay tuned for that. Coming up next on 93 WIBC.
When I grow up, what should I be? A chef? A sprinkle of this, a dash of that, I'd probably eat more than I'd cook. I could be a ballet dancer. I'm not exactly graceful. I've got 2 left feet. Literally. Or what about an astronaut? Wow. Tempting, but a little far from home. Maybe I'm meant to help in a different way. Or maybe I'm destined to give someone hope.
At Dogs Inc., our puppies grow up to change lives as guide dogs, service dogs, and skilled companion dogs, trained with love, provided at no cost, and made possible through hope.
Now that's a perfect fit.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
It's not just adults who can feel stressed out. Our children feel stressed too. I'm Tammy Silverman of Indiana Youth Institute. Between school demands, maintaining friendships, and expectations from adults, it's no wonder that children sometimes feel stressed out. But unlike adults, experts say children may not be able to recognize stress or know how to cope. Luckily, you can help your child handle the challenges they're facing. Start by making yourself available to talk and be a good listener. Let your child express their views, and when you respond, focus on your child's feelings rather than your own. You can also ask your child what they need from you, whether it's advice or help solving a problem. But if stress is still overwhelming, experts recommend you reach out to a licensed mental health professional to make sure your child gets the support they need and deserve. This Kids Count Minute is a message from Indiana Youth Institute. For more parent tips, visit IYI.org.
Kids count on you.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
Stand Up to Cancer asked leading cancer researchers to speak about why they do their work.
2 words come to mind for me. One is responsibility, the other is purpose.
It's just so inspiring to do research that impacts human lives.
Stand Up to Cancer has been a critical partner in advancing research for cancer.
Cancer research saves lives.
So please, help us fight in this battle against cancer.
Be a part of the team that ends cancer at standuptocancer.org.
Dugan Air Heating and Cooling is always committed to premium service and no shenanigans.
Go DuganAir.com. Dugan Air Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
The Indianapolis Public Library. More than just books. Visit your local branch today.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior.
You're listening to Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
Everybody wants to.
Welcome back to Saturday Night on the Circle, where I'm your bohemian codger, Ethan Hatcher, and the podcasts are uploaded to WIBC.com and my personal podcasting page, SaturdayNightOnTheCircle.fireside.fm, and we're in the YouTube chat from 7 to 9 every Saturday night. Hop in the chat and join the fun. One of the most pressing interests for many Americans is the quest for safety and justice for citizens, protecting the law-abiders and punishing the wrongdoers for threatening public well-being and general order. At the same time, the freedoms protections afforded to all citizens by the Constitution must be carefully guarded, along with the due process of law, which is the strength of the American system. One candidate currently running for judge in Hamilton Superior Court offers 20 years of legal experience ranging from family law, mediation, business law, criminal law, probate, estate planning, civil litigation, guardianship, and municipal law. Welcoming to the program for the very first time, Magistrate Danica Eiler joins the show. Thanks for coming on the program. That is quite a resume you have accumulated.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, other than what you just described, I was born in southern Indiana, moved to central Indiana when I was a young teenager. Graduated from Lawrence Central High School here in central Indiana. Went to law school at Indiana University in downtown here in Indianapolis, and also to undergrad. I have an undergraduate business degree from the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University, and then, like I said, also graduated from the McKinney School of Law here in downtown Indianapolis as well. I've, as you mentioned, been practicing law for a little over 20 years, and I was honored to be selected to be a magistrate late in 2025. So it's a little bit more than about me.
What drew you to the legal career specifically? Because, I mean, it's such a specialized interest and it takes a lot of schooling, a lot of expertise. Some people find the details a little bit tedious. What drew you there?
Well, the actual answer is I decided when I was 9 years old to become an attorney. When I was 8 and 9, first I thought, oh, I'll be a teacher. Then I decided they don't make enough money. Yeah.
Very true.
Then for a short period of time, I decided I was going to be a chiropractor because for whatever reason, I thought if you were a chiropractor, you would make enough money to have a different car to drive every day of the week. And when I was 8 years old, I thought that was important. But shortly after that, I had a family member who was studying to be a paralegal at Vincennes University, and I would go with them to the law library and look at the legal books that were there. And what I was looking at were judicial opinions about certain issues, matters, and people. And I found those to be very interesting and decided then that that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a lawyer. And so that's a thing I decided to do, and I carried that through and thankfully did well enough in high school to get into college, did well enough in college to get into law school and passed the bar. And so that's what I decided to do.
So you're running for Superior Court judge. What do you think are the most pressing issues in Hamilton County right now, especially in the judicial landscape?
Well, I'm running for Hamilton Superior Court 8, which is a brand new court that was just, will not even, it doesn't exist today. So part of the reason why there are 2 new courts that were approved by the legislature this year is because of the giant growth in population that Hamilton County has been experiencing over the past few years. With that growth comes additional need for court use, whether that's criminal issues, family law issues, guardianship issues, and our courts needed more help. And so the legislature said, okay, we're going to give you 2 brand new courts. Those will start functioning January 1st of 2027. And the need and the ability to effectively and efficiently address the needs of our community was part of the reason why those 2 new courts were established. And I think that's one of the most pressing issues that we have with the giant growth in population that Hamilton County has. That is something that we definitely need is greater access to be able to get some cases in quicker, to be able to get justice served quicker in certain matters, and to get decisions made for people quicker.
Just the size and the scope of Hamilton County has increased so much that there needs to be more justices to handle the volume.
Correct. At the same time, the legislature approved these 2 new courts. They also approved 2 new magistrates for Hamilton County. So currently, we have 8 elected judicial officers in Hamilton County and 7 magistrates. Once these 2 new courts come on board, then we'll have, 8 and 9. So we'll have 10 elected judicial officers and 7 magistrates. And so, and that's grown significantly over the past few years because of our population increase.
The legal system is such a Byzantine complex for a lot of people. Can you explain, and you're already working in the legal system as a magistrate judge, can you explain the difference between what a magistrate judge does compared to a Superior Court judge?
Of course, that's a great question. Magistrate judges are not elected like the elected officials are that are in the courts and named people. Magistrates are hired by the elected judges to help with their caseloads in courts, and they have the same authority that an elected judge has, other than to do judicial mandates. We don't have that authority as a magistrate, but we do otherwise all of the same functions that an elected judge does. So my day-to-day looks just like an elected judge's day-to-day, other than I don't do and make administrative decisions that affect the courts as a whole. But I hear cases, I make decisions on cases, I issue orders. I do, and all magistrates in Indiana at least do what the same things that the elected judges do, other than a few administrative things that we're not required to do because we're not the elected official.
So what would you hope to accomplish if elected to be the Superior Court judge for what, District 8?
It's not a district, no, it's just a Court 8.
Court 8.
It's sequential in number, so it's the next one. But they cover the entire county. There's no districts up there. So, because it's a brand new court, I hope to be able to set it up in a way that makes it effective and efficient for the public that it's going to be serving. While, this is a service position, being a judge, we are there to serve the community. And I'm hopeful with my business background and also my judicial experience and my legal experience that I would be able to set up and create a court that effectively and efficiently serves the community that it's set up to do.
Now, you were telling me before we got the interview started that you currently don't have a primary challenger, but you do have a election challenger at this point.
Correct. So Hamilton County has a partisan election, and because it does have a partisan election, judges also have to declare a party. So I am a declared Republican. I have no Republican an opponent for the May primary election, but a Democrat has entered the primary, and then will be the general race as well for the November election.
So would you be able to offer like some compare and contrast your candidacy compared to your opponent? Like why would the voters choose you?
Not necessarily in comparison to my opponent, but why I think I'm the best choice for this is because I have both business experience, both in my education, but also in real life. I owned my own law firm for many years prior to taking the bench as a magistrate. My husband and I have owned multiple businesses ourselves. I've managed folks and people in the environment with which I've had to do, and that's going to be part of what you have to do as an elected official also in setting up a new court. There's a whole staff that's going to have to be hired. The processes and procedures of how this court's going to have to work are going to have to be established and implemented in a way that makes it effective and efficient that I talked about before. And I believe that my experience in both those two sectors makes me the best candidate for this position.
So would you say it's your business and legal experience working, in so many different fields over the last 20 years? I guess the question I'm asking, what would you distill and describe as the most valuable experiences you've had that shape your philosophy when it comes to the law? Right? Deep question. Yeah. Stumped you there.
Right. I think that's interesting because, again, as I said, I decided very young to go into this field. And so I think when you get to law school, it really does teach you how to think in a way that's not how you think about every single thing. Law school teaches you how to break things down, how to logically go through and conclude and make decisions and argue points and look at those things in certain ways. But I would say the biggest thing for me is that I have done so many different types of law and I've had experience in so many different areas that that combined with my own life experiences gives me some what I think is really good perspective on applying what I know to be the law from my experience working and from my education to the facts and the people who are in front of me. I think that a good and balanced combination of education and practical experience is what makes a good judicial officer. You have to make tough decisions doing what we do that affect people's everyday lives, and the ability to combine both of those together, I think, is what's most important.
This is Saturday Night on the Circle, 93 WIBC, and we've been speaking with Danica Eiler, who is candidate for Hamilton County Judge, Court 8, not District 8, Court 8. Just a few closing thoughts then. Can you tell us where people can find more information about you and then also go to support the campaign?
So I have a website, which is the best place to get more information about me and contact us if you have questions. You can visit that. It's Danica Eiler for Judge, spelled FOR, judge.com.
Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Stay tuned to 93 WIBC.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
what? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Teachers shape the future. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who'll make preventing pandemics their life's work. Sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who'll help combat climate change. And generating possibilities for a student who'll be the first in their family to graduate college. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Trump speaking with Minnesota leaders to try to put an end to the unrest in the state, deploying his border czar Tom Homan to lead ICE operations.
He will be reporting directly to the president. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino had been acting as the Border Patrol lead here, even hosting daily press conferences, really the face of the operation here. But Bovino is now returning to be sector chief in El Centro, California, and other Border Patrol agents are leaving as well.
Fox's Matt Finn, at least 34 people dead after that massive winter storm. It's still bringing bone-chilling temperatures nationwide. Fox Weather's Melanie Black in Boston, where almost 2 feet of snow fell.
And that snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. Our Fox Weather Forecast Center is calling for high temperatures in the 20s and overnight lows in the single digits this week.
America's listening to Fox News.
Oh, yeah, the Made in Indiana sale with Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. With all the good stuff happening with the Hoosiers, let's give you all a better price on everything Indiana made at Thompson Furniture. I'm talking outdoor furniture by Polywood, which I have at my house. 50% off Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern.
All made by Hoosiers in Indiana and only on sale at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, with interest-free financing and free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Gain insight on how to prepare for a secure retirement.
In our younger years, we want as much growth and accumulation as we can muster.
Take advantage of a free discovery call, 877-524-2677, 877-524-2677.
It's important for you to understand what that's going to look like later on.
And tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show with Will Gonzalez, Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Help WIBC and technology recyclers recycle your old electronics safely. Find a community event near you at tech-recyclers.com/events.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service? Need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today.
Today.
Adopting a teen can be fulfilling and rewarding. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
is Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIPC.
Welcome back to Saturday Night on The Circle, where I'm your bohemian codger, Ethan Hatcher, and my podcasts are uploaded to WIBC.com and Saturday Night on The Circle.fireside.fm, my personal podcasting page, and we're streaming live on the YouTube machine 7 to 9 every Saturday night. Hop in the chat and join the fun. Conservatism used to mean something when it stood for conserving traditions, values, and constitutional principles. Yet, whenever so-called conservative leaders are elected, all they seem to conserve is the status quo. Instead of promoting Western civilization as the bedrock of American democracy, Republicans wallow in the profligate spending of Marxism and bow to the big government shenanigans of leftists. When did conservatives lose their way, and why did Republicans just become Democrat light? Here to answer those questions is the man whose scrutiny is as tireless as his quest to purge the government of shadowy, power-mad globalists. It's producer Carl, who joins us for another edition of Carl's Conspiracy Corner.
You're listening to Carl's Conspiracy Corner. The truth is out there.
Have you ever seen a commie drink a glass of water?
Well, yeah, I can't say I have.
The views expressed by Conspiracy Carl are those of Carl and Carl alone. They are not the views of his station or its distributors. I mean, obviously.
Deep beneath the streets of Indianapolis, in an undisclosed broadcasting bunker, we're once again joined by producer Carl, who doesn't have very nice things to say about the conservatives this week. So tell us your thoughts, Carl.
Well, that's the whole point of this whole segment this weekend. They're not really conservative, because what are they trying to conserve? I mean, they're conserving the status quo. So what ends up happening in the 21st century is that the Democrats will wreck the economy while a Republican is in office. Then the Democrats will get in power. They will push forward all sorts of weird leftist agenda that they will get through. And then a Republican gets back in and they never push it back. So exactly what are they conserving? They're conserving the status quo. So this morning when I wake up, I see the headline, Mitch McConnell blocks SAVE Act from being brought to a vote on the Senate floor. How is that conservative? Requiring ID to vote? Like, how is this guy representing himself as a conservative? And yet for all the years that he's been in office as a leader in the Senate, he has campaigned on the fact that he is a conservative Republican. Play this audio for us.
Thanks to Senator Collins and Senator Murray's commitment to operating in good faith and adhering as much as possible to regular order, a significant portion of the federal government's discretionary budget is complete. As I mentioned last week, the agreement before the Senate includes a number of conservative accomplishments that Vice Chair Collins fought for up front.
I feel like I'm living in a time warp, producer Carl, because this seems like a repeat of John McCain when he famously stymied Republicans and was the deciding vote that prevented Republicans from overturning the so-called Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare, because he got into a personality conflict with President Trump. Mitch McConnell, the turtle, or Cocaine Mitch, whichever you prefer, has spoken extensively about election fraud being a problem in past elections going back to the 1980s when he gave like a 2 or 3 minute stump speech before President Ronald Reagan talking about people pressuring voters in Kentucky, selling their votes in Kentucky, abusing mail-in ballots. But now he doesn't care about all that. He's just going along and supporting the Democrats.
It's good that you brought it. It's good that you brought up election fraud. The fraud that's going on here are these Republicans. They're frauds. So the emphasis in conservative is the con. It's a con job. I know that we love to call the Republicans in elected office rhinos, but I like to call them DPARs, Democrats posing as Republicans, because that's what they are. Democrats today are outright communists, and Republicans are Democrats. And, what's true in D.C. is also very true here in the state of Indiana. I don't see much conservatism going on in Indiana. I see them not contesting how education is run. My goodness, there just recently another Hoosier was killed by an illegal alien truck driver. Like, what the hell? Why aren't local politicians screaming bloody murder about this?
Well, I mean, talking about the lack of conservatism in Indiana, we just discussed earlier in this hour about how Indiana Republicans have bent over backwards in this session to provide a cushy deal for the Bears to move their billion-dollar sporting complex here to Indiana. We're going to give them roads. We're giving them a cushy deal. And they say that it's all going to be paid for by local users, concessions, and it's essentially going to be self-supporting. But where have we heard that before, especially when we're still paying for the now demolished, non-existent Hoosier Dome, and we're continuing to pay for the non-profitable Lucas Oil Stadium? We lost money on bringing the Super Bowl here, and as soon as we build a stadium for the Bears, you know what the Colts are going to say? Well, that stadium that we just built in 2012 sure is pretty old. I mean, golly, the retractable roof doesn't even work. We need a new stadium. We need another one.
By the way, it's been in the rumor mill that the Colts aren't necessarily going to stay here in Indianapolis. Have you noticed that the daughters are basically selling off everything that their father had? And what I hear through the grapevine is that once they get the tax bill for the inheritance tax of inheriting the Colts, goodbye, Colts. They'll sell it to another owner, and they'll be out of Indianapolis. We'll be stuck with that stadium.
Well, then the Bears can have that stadium. How about that? They can have Lucas Oil Stadium. Just move them right into the Colts, and then, one hand washes another, nothing lost. Now, there's a deal I could get behind.
Now, so I talked, starting this segment, I talked about the fact that here is how the cycle goes. So when a Republican is in office as the president, the Democrats will sabotage the Republicans, and then people will get upset, and then they will vote in the Democrats. So look at what happened with the end of George Bush. You talked about John McCain earlier, but what really triggered all the problems for John McCain getting elected? It was the real estate crash. And who caused that? Bill Clinton caused that. Bill Clinton caused that because he allowed banks to merger in with investment bankers who caused the problems in the real estate bust. And
also, the federal government incentivized those bankers to give loans to individuals who had no business buying a house, who had no ability or qualification to repay a loan, but it created the illusion of a happy and a healthy housing market. It sustained the illusion of the American dream and everybody's desire to buy a white picket fence while ignoring the financial reality that some people are simply financially irresponsible. They do not have the ability nor the desire to own, maintain, or responsibly pay for a home. But the Clinton administration plowed forward with giving those people loans anyway, and look at the results.
Yes. So who got the blame for the real estate the bust? It was George Bush.
Yeah.
But George Bush, the only thing that he was guilty of is being a typical rhino, where he didn't fight the Democrats and say, hey, we've got a problem here. There's all these people that shouldn't be buying homes. Instead, George Bush was like, screw them. They're not going to listen to me, so let it fall. And so that's what happened. And look what's going to happen here in the midterms. The Democrats are going to take the House, and then they're going to stop everything that Trump wants to do to push the economy forward. The economy will fail, and Trump will get the blame, and we'll have another Democrat to ruin the country even more.
Well, what you're kind of describing is the insidious effects of incrementalism, where we move ever slowly leftward bit by bit, and then even reasonable, rational positions of the Republican Party, like financial reform or the SAVE Act, look radical, according to the Democrats, who have slowly and ever so insidiously further slid further left.
Well, as I said, the SAVE Act is the hill worth dying on. The SAVE Act is worth getting rid of the filibuster in this case, because if you have the SAVE Act where you actually require ID to vote in federal elections, guess what? The Democrats don't win anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they're getting in, is they're cheating.
It's going to blow a massive hole in their operation. And if that passes, they might not, in fact, win the midterm elections, especially if they're able to implement it before the midterm elections are started, because they're already entering the midterm races at an enormous financial deficit because of their profligate spending on Kamala Harris.
Well, we can only pray. Basically, for those people that are black-pilled, I don't know what to say. It's like, what are my choices? Communist or Democrat light? And I've always said that really the only thing that you can do is pray and understand that while the government has the power, they don't have the authority, because really the press will say that they're getting mandates. They're not getting mandates. People are voting for the lesser of two evils most of the time. This government does not have the mandate to rule like it does and to bankrupt like they're bankrupting the country.
Well, you know me, Carl. I'm Mr. Skeptical Atheist, and I'm not waiting on a supernatural entity to swoop in and save us. We got to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, then you can't win the elections, and you can't fix the country as it falls ever further.
Well, you and I may not have the same faith, but we both have the same objectives.
Yeah, and the same objection to the spineless so-called conservatives that are really just Democrat light and maintaining the status quo.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Have a wonderful weekend.
Stay tuned to 93 WIBC. You're listening to Saturday Night on The Circle.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We had downsized. In that downsizing, my husband lost his man cave.
Everyone is talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like your neighbor Deb.
My husband and I were at the home show and saw all these vendors with garage floor coatings. The one that stayed with us was Galaxy.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings is 4 times stronger than epoxy.
I'm the only one home, and so it's nice when well-dressed, clean-cut, respectful crew show up. That's what Galaxy sent.
Commercial or residential, Galaxy transforms pools, patios, garage floors, and driveways in as little as 1 day, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
Warranties are real important for us, and to know that should there be an issue, Galaxy was standing behind it. That's pretty much what tipped us over to go with Galaxy.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook.
We are so proud to open our garage store.
We're out of this world.
Attention quality control personnel, plant managers, and sales representatives. Are you looking to work for a company that provides you with a great starting wage, outstanding benefits, and a generous retirement plan? Irving Materials Incorporated is hiring for these positions in the greater Indianapolis area. If you're a quality control technician, plant manager, or sales representative, IMI has opportunities available for you. To learn more, visit driveimi.com. driveimi.com. driveimi.com.
Great Lakes Honda of Fishers is heating things up with red-hot deals during Pay What We Pay invoice pricing going on now. Come into Great Lakes Honda and get invoice pricing without the gimmicks, like a new Honda Odyssey EXL for under $42,000 with a finance special of 3.99% APR for 48 months or 4.99% APR for 60 months. So come in out of the cold for red-hot prices at Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Tax not included. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends March 31st. See dealer for details.
We may be thousands of miles apart, but we can still connect. And when we do, we make things better. At Child Fund, we connect children all around the world with what they need to grow up healthy, educated, and safe. Together, we co-create connections that help millions of children who live in poverty worldwide, and their families, and their communities, and you. Join us. Together, we can make the world a better place. 2 small worlds at a time. Visit childfund.org to learn more.
I love those dear hearts and gentle people.
This is Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
Because those dear hearts and gentle people will never ever let you down.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one and only Saturday Night on the Circle. And I'm your host, Ethan Hatcher, closing out the program this evening. Thanks for spending your Saturday with me. And we have another edition of Antique Show and Tell with Terry Stacy, Kylan Talley, and Denny Smith, one of my favorite segments that we get to do every so often on a Sunday. And this edition of the Antique Show and Tell was really interesting to me in connection with President's Day. I got to show 2 antiques from 2 very pivotal eras in American history, both World War I and World War II, plus a little musical interlude as well. I hope you enjoy it.
I don't mind, but you better promise me I'll be back in time.
11:48. Thank you, Kylan, for looking out for me. She is a gem. Terry, Stacy, Kylan, Tally, Denny Smith. We're just going to be with you here till the top of the hour when we let Don Fisher and the crew take it away for IU pregame.
We left the door open, and look what walked in.
Ethan Hatcher from Saturday Night on the Circle. It's show and tell time, everybody.
Real quick, though, this is
here again.
This is during the time when Denny's Dollars and Cents would normally take place, and we are normally singing. Ethan Hatcher, though, is very good at singing, I would say.
Really?
Ethan, could you sing for Denny?
What?
Oh, well, yeah, we can get rid of that first.
What are you going to do?
Are you? Can you?
Yeah,
Yes?
no, we can do that first.
Oh.
He is good.
He is good.
Here we go.
I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown, because those dear hearts and gentle people will never ever let you down.
There we go.
They read the good book from Friday till Monday. That's how the weekend goes.
Did you guys know Ethan could sing?
I've got a dream house.
So
I'll
good.
go there one
my
day
gosh.
with picket fence and rambling road.
Hey, you're
I
getting
feel so well.
All right.
Oh, that's a lovely start to Ethan's show and tell.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I really enjoyed every second of that. Anyway, it's show and tell time, and
We got to breeze through this.
yeah, we do. We don't have a whole lot of time. Denny, we'll start with you.
All right, so you guys let me know we had show and tell when I was on my way to my mama's. Mom was an antique dealer, and what my dear friend Ethan has here from American Gothic is a pitchfork that was used in the 1800s, and they were hand carved. And next to him is his lovely wife. By the way, did you know they were posing in front of a house of ill repute? This is a hand carved shovel. And Mom just took them right off the wall. She had them on her wall and said, here, take these and show them. So this is a shovel that was hand hewn, and I'm not positive, but I think it's poplar wood. That's a little close here.
The shovel is even cooler because those
Yeah.
don't survive very much.
They
I
don't
see pitchforks, but not shovels.
And she's holding it up to the light, and you can see through it where the knot hole was. But this is, and Terry said, well, could you dig with this? I don't think you could dig a hole with it, but you could certainly move a pile of dirt. And this one that you have, notice how the forks are separated and split out. It's they would take the same piece of wood, cut it, soak it in water or vinegar, and then spread it apart little by little, and that's how you make these forks. So that's from my mama, Donna Jean. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma.
And
All right.
I brought a couple of different things, and we got to breeze through this real quick. First one is a propaganda poster from World War I. I'll show to the camera here. This is featuring President of the United States, Woodrow Wilson. He was a scoundrel, rotten president, did a lot of terrible things, but he also got us through World War I. And I love the artistry of stuff like this. I love the history.
I do too.
And I wish we would bring stuff like this back. It's
cool.
Because it shows a lot of pride. It shows a lot of pride in the country.
Yeah.
And it's spreading a
George
message
Washington,
of
Abraham
positivity
Lincoln.
and unity. Isn't this neat, Terry?
Isn't that cool?
Now, Terry, I'm going to
And a
ask
Boy
you. Can
Scout.
you now watch your flinch? Can you imagine Presidents Trump's or Joe Biden in the middle of that picture instead of
can't.
Calvin Coolidge?
No.
Yeah. See, that's we've lost that.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What a great piece. Where'd you find this?
I found this at Audrey's place, just around the corner on.
gosh, right here in
on 10th
town.
Street. Yep.
That was
And then
a
the other
find.
thing I brought is
Love it for President's Day.
a
How
recording of
topical.
Roosevelt's address after the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And if you want to filibuster for me for a second, I'll set it up on the phonograph.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. How'd I do?
Look at this old
Yeah.
photograph. Can they see that on camera?
They can see his
And I'm
butt
sorry
real
for
well.
those of you that are listening. You can go back and watch on YouTube if you want to, but this is pretty cool. It is a black alligator-ish looking leather
And it's got
box.
that old creepy velvet on the inside, but it's old velvet. But when it
Yeah.
was first made, it was brand new velvet. All right, so here we go.
This is cool. Here we go.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the Senate, of the House of Representatives.
It's amazing.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation
and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. Indeed, 1 hour after Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague.
Okay, Ethan. So you got to tell us what is the record player? What type is it?
That is a Columbia Model 163. It's my absolute favorite. It is a Viva tonal machine.
I was really in favor of the 161. I thought the 161 was much better, Armand. I'm teasing you.
I have the 160 at home.
You have the 160
yeah,
at
I've
home.
got the 160 in the
The
basement.
Viva tonal reproducers were made for electrically recorded discs, which had a broader range of modulation in their tone. So you got a much more crisp and true to life sound.
So what about the needle? You had
amazing.
told me that the needles were replaceable and you had to replace them. Is this one a replaceable type needle or is it good?
Yeah, no, you have to replace the needle with every single play. It is a one-use item. And you can pick the volume because there are multiple types of needles. There's at least 3 basic types: soft tone, medium tone, and loud tone.
Is anybody still making those things?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, no, they are made in mass because they're designed to be replaceable.
Yeah.
So every time you play a disc, you gotta, if you want to preserve that disc, you gotta change
All
that
right,
needle.
so I'll ask the easy question. How much is this worth? Not what did you pay for it, but how much is it worth?
Probably about $300.
Wow.
I think that's a deal.
Yeah,
that
no,
sounds
it's a
like
steal.
a deal.
It's my favorite portable, and
Is
it's
it
beautiful
78
too.
78 RPM?
78 RPM discs. Yep. That's the average. Actually, the discs themselves could vary anywhere from like 76 RPM to 80
All right.
RPM.
You ready
but
for this, Terry?
78 is
Ready.
the average.
Fork you, Ethan. I don't want to hear it. You get it?
He's using his big wooden fork on Ethan's shoulder. Thank you,
forked up, Denny.
guys.
That's
Happy
forked up.
President's Day.
Happy President's Day. That was awesome. The stuff that you brought us today, both of you. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, guys, those are a super special group of people. I love getting to spend Sunday mornings with them, sharing a little bit of knowledge, sharing a little bit of history, and some artifacts from my collection as well. Thanks for listening to another edition of Saturday Night on the Circle. This is your bespectacled curmudgeon, Ethan Hatcher, signing off and leaving you with my parting words of wisdom as always. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're with, remember that life is a state of mind. And I'll see you next week, folks.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Window Nation, Windows, windownation.com. Window Nation was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies, so you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. That's what I did. They were in and out of my house within a day, replaced the whole front of my house with brand new windows, saving a ton on energy bills, keeping the cold air out and the warm air in with Window Nation and windownation.com.
Schedule your fast and free estimate right now with Window Nation. Go to their website, windownation.com. Shop around, find what you like, but take advantage of this deal. Buy 4, get 4 windows for free, and get an extra 10% off. And again, a fast and free estimate is available at windownation.com. But to get the deal, you have to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
After my injury, I lost my sense of purpose.
I lost my peace of mind.
My independence.
I lost the ability to tuck my daughters into bed.
My sense of safety.
These veterans are just a few of the men and women we serve at Homes for Our Troops. For nearly 1,800 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. We build specially adapted homes with features like wheelchair access, roll-in showers, and pull-down cabinets that allow them to live independently and focus on their recovery and family. This life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free, thanks to donors and supporters.
Homes for Our Troops gave me stability.
Financial freedom to grow our family.
A mental reset.
A home where I can be a dad. Homes for Our Troops gave me a brighter future.
We need you to join us in completing our important mission. Learn more at hfotusa.org.
Before I was adopted,